Hello all YouTubers, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning back into this weather video for August 6, 2020. Before we get on with today's video, however, it would be really awesome if you guys did hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for 900 subscribers. We're almost there. We're less than 100 away from the big ultimate goal of 1,000 subscribers. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as ring the bell notification so you don't miss my next upload. Also, watching the whole video because getting to the goal of 1,000 subscribers in monetization, we're getting very close. And you guys watching the whole video will help the Weather Dude's channel out a lot. So please consider watching the whole video as well. Please do. And also like and share this video with your friends. Thank you. Now let's go on with today's video. So today we're going to be talking about another mid-Atlantic flood threat and maybe even a severe weather threat for the mid-Atlantic as well. I especially wanted to do a video on this today because the mid-Atlantic just dealt with Hurricane Isaias, and it did impact the Weather Dude too. I mean, we got some pretty good damage here, and we're going to be talking about yet another flood threat and even severe weather threat for the mid-Atlantic today. So I hope you guys enjoy. So we did have some pretty strong storms. There was a lot of severe thunderstorm. We did have some flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings laid up the map this morning. That was about a few hours ago. Those storms have since left the Jersey Shore, but as you can see this morning, we did have some pretty strong sails that moved through the mid-Atlantic here. And you can see more of that blossom this afternoon. Take a look at the NAM model. All right, we can see some more banding. This is even overnight into tomorrow morning. Maybe you could see some more strong thunderstorms. And anywhere that these do develop, you could see, you know, some particularly heavy rainfall rates, some severe weather, lightning, hail, damaging winds as well. Looking and the NAM model says maybe by late Friday, late tomorrow, these storms could be moving off Cape Cod, off Nantucket. All right, as you can see right here, there is Cape Cod, and then maybe even beyond that, maybe even to the day early Saturday, maybe some other showers and storms move through the Mid-Atlantic as well. All right, so looking at the total accumulated precipitation here, let's go over maybe 48 hours. You can see where these storms do track, they could dump a hefty couple inches of rainfall in a pretty short amount of time. Now, thankfully, the highest totals, according to the NAM model, do stay over water, but, you know, Nantucket could see a few inches of rainfall as well. All right, even down towards, say, Virginia, southeastern Virginia, around Richmond and Norfolk, maybe even 2 or 3 inches of rain as well, on top of what we already had. I think, like where I'm specifically located in the Mid-Atlantic, we did receive about 6 to 8 inches of rain from Hurricane Isaias, and many others I received, nearly double-digit rainfall, mostly about 5 to 8 inches of rain most spots from Hurricane Isaias here across the Mid-Atlantic in this general region here. All right, so particularly more so this region. The I-95 corridor was, affected the heaviest here. So now let's look at the NAM 3KM and kind of taking a look at, do we have a little bit of a severe weather risk today? This isn't like a full severe weather coverage video, so I'm not going to be showing all the maps. I know that it's going to take a long time. It'll be a very long video, like my usual severe weather coverage. But since this isn't full severe weather, this is more of like a severe weather coverage and some particularly heavy rainfall that I'm going to be tracking today. So looking at the surface-based Cape, we definitely have it. All right, even booting up the day on Friday, particularly up in, from, the Delmarva all the way down through the Carolinas. That's where I have some particularly higher Cape values, and that's where we can see some thunderstorms blossom and produce some heavy rain, blinding rainfall, and even some damaging winds. But there you are. Even through, Friday night, and then heading into today is Saturday. But Saturday, I think it starts to move off the coast a little bit. You can see not as high in terms of our Cape values on Saturday. All right, maybe late in the day Saturday, but it's going to be confined even more to the east. And then by Sunday, we shouldn't be seeing too much. But look at the supercell composites here, where we can see some supercells blossom today. Going to the NAM model, maybe hovering around Maryland, maybe just outside of our nation's capital. We can see, all right, and even right there, right in western Jersey, we could even see a little patch of maybe 6, 7 out of 50 in terms of our supercell composite. Even heading to the day Saturday, but by this point, like I said, it's pretty much either right on the East Coast or off of the East Coast by then. So looking at the high resolution model, all right, you can see that they do have some thunderstorms blossoming, but like I said, it all depends where they happen to blossom, because we had a severe weather this morning, had some heavy rain this morning, and then we're going to see more storms during the afternoon hours across Virginia, as you can see here, Pennsylvania, western Maryland, All right, then it eventually maybe dissipates overnight. We don't have too much instability in the atmosphere. Maybe some lot of rain off the east coast. All right. Look at the high resolution model in terms of our rainfall totals over the next 18 hours. Like I said, where these cells do develop, we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain plus in a very short amount of time. So I think that's the important part I want to get, want to tell you guys in this video is that, we don't need too much rain because of Isaias. Even if you want to talk about Faye, all right, from not too long before that, but particularly Isaias is contributing here because we're still having a lot of, we're still seeing some, maybe not as much flooding left over because I think Isaias was more of a flash flood threat. So the good thing is that Isaias had more. It always had a little issue dealing with some dry air behind the storm. Not only was the storm moving fast to help get the rain out of there, but when it had a little bit of dry air behind it, it helped conditions dry up pretty quickly, particularly because it was a flash flood threat. But still, we still have very wet soil, and we don't need much rainfall to cause more flash flooding. Even down towards North Carolina, according to the high-resolution model, 1 to 2 inches of rain can fall in a very short amount of time. So what does our surface-based cape look like here up and down the East Coast? Well, you can see by the high-resolution model, we do have some during the day today, all right? Particularly, again, it will be fading through the night, but we do have some high cape values from Georgia up through Maryland. Doesn't mean that there's going to be widespread thunderstorm activity, but notice how in the morning we start to see our cape values die off. Maybe the Carolinas, the coastal Carolinas, maybe some higher cape values. This isn't saying where the thunderstorms are going to be. This is saying, like, how much heat energy do we have to potentially spark those thunderstorms? All right. Looking at the supercell composite, it doesn't look too bad, but we do have a particularly highlighted area there, right? I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right there in eastern Virginia, kind of like on the Virginia-Maryland border there. We can see some supercells, but during the night tonight, looks like we won't have too much in tomorrow mornings. Some very, very light supercell composite values. So we could have a chance afternoon and maybe Saturday afternoon as well, but I think today is the day here. Now, again, looking at the NAM model more closely, you can see 4 inches of rain they're predicting in just the next 24 hours for Pennsylvania there, northeast of Harrisburg. But like I said, it all depends on where these systems line up. So here's kind of your thunderstorm map according to the NAM model, and you can see that across the mid-Atlantic here, so, Maryland, Virginia, you're starting to see, all right, some potentially more high risk of thunderstorms, even down towards South Carolina as well. All right, we got a particularly highlighted threat there. So kind of like a mid-Atlantic and southeast thunderstorm threat for today. But not only is the thunderstorms, it's the flash flooding as well. All right, so not just severe weather. Maybe even the Carolinas by, like tonight, maybe 11 p.m. overnight tonight. So that is something to watch as well. Now, I want to talk about this because, again, like I said earlier, we've been, due to Isaias, we've had some very heavy rainfall. And look at the heavy rain it left behind. But particularly from places like Allentown, Reading, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington. This area received anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rainfall. Even these pink spots in the last 7 days, in these magenta shades, we've had 10 to 15 inches of rainfall, which that is including the past 7 days rainfall. So that's Isaias, pretty much Isaias by itself, maybe another storm factored in there, but this is pretty much all the rainfall that we have from Isaias. And all right, the totals are staggering. Taking a look here, look at the widespread, okay, regardless of the 8 to 10 inches of rainfall, up and down the East Coast here too, we've seen widespread. Pretty much everyone along the East Coast saw 2-3 inches of rainfall, but it was in that bullseye, all right, from the Virginia all the way up into eastern Pennsylvania here is where we really saw those, 5+ inch rainfall totals, and that really caused some major flash flooding. Now, the good news is, again, this was a flash flood event. So we saw the worst of the river flooding a few hours after the rainfall ended. All right, sometimes it happens a couple of days after rainfall ended, depending on the hurricane. But like I said, this was more of a flash flood threat than a prolonged flood threat because this is a very quick mover. So the river gauges have since calmed down, but we still do have a couple. For example, in the Carolinas, we got a couple river gauges that are in near flood stage, which means they could be in flood stage in the future or have been in the past. Maybe one river gauge that is still in flood stage in Richmond, so maybe a flood warning is now in place for just southeast of Richmond because of the Chickahominy River. Hopefully you guys can pronounce that too, and Providence Forge, Virginia. And as you can see, it got very close to moderate flood stage, but didn't quite get there. But you look at, say, around the Philadelphia area, you look and northern Delaware and around Philly, there was a lot of river gauges, okay, in the Philadelphia area that reached either moderate or even major flood stage, and they produced some very major extensive damage. All right, but it looks like we only have across the whole U.S. There's only one river gauge that's in moderate, three that are in major. There's always those major flood stage river gauges in North Dakota for some reason. It's always like that, all right? But no major or moderate river gauge, or excuse me, no river gauges are in major or moderate flood stage across the Mid-Atlantic region, which is definitely some good news. So hopefully everyone's cleaning up okay from Isaias, but watch out for some heavy thunderstorms for today and maybe even tomorrow. But the threat will shift more towards the East Coast by tomorrow, and out over the open water. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I am the Weather Dude, signing off till next time. Catch you guys in the next video.